Hi, so this is actually the first YouTube video I have on my main channel that I actually talk in. So hello, it's nice to actually meet you guys this time. This video is going to be a little bit different than my other speed arts because I'm gonna kind of be describing the process as it plays out for you guys and explain like the reasoning behind everything. This is Lotus, a Valorant agent I designed. She's a sentinel from Egypt, and it was completely accidental that I predicted the future with her, because yesterday Valorant actually announced the new map is called Lotus, so that was kind of a crazy coincidence, but no, this is not inspired by that. I actually designed her, I think I was working on her in November, so I predicted the future. That was awesome. So, starting off, you guys can already see, I was going for more of a stoic, strong, kind of pose for her. And now we're getting into my color concepts. The first one on the far left is based on the traditional Egyptian colors. The middle one was kind of more going for tranquility, and the last pink one was something that I was kind of basing on more modern Egyptian fashion, as well as kind of trying to be a little more unique with the concept. And that's actually the one I ended up choosing. So now I was just going through and kind of giving her some expression studies. I kind of wanted to see her a little more fleshed out. I know that I wanted her to be very stoic because her intention is to be kind of like a knight in shining armor. Like, she feels that no one owes her anything. She just has a moral obligation to help people. And so I kind of wanted to portray that. So she is pretty stoic, but giving her like more, wide expressions was really fun because I kind of got to see like a different side of her than I originally imagined. So here, I started designing the utility concepts. At first, I actually was planning on her being a controller rather than a sentinel. But as I progressed more throughout, you'll see that change kind of switch over. Because originally, I wanted her to have like a flower wall and things of that sort. But I feel like having her as a sentinel kind of makes more sense with her, her personality and how strong her moral compass is. Like, she wants to help and she wants to be there and be reliable. And I feel like that definitely resonates more with sentinels because, they watch flank a lot. Sage has heals, and she actually does have a healing ability, which I'll describe later. So you can kind of see how I progressed to feeling like Sentinel matches her personality and just character overall better. So now we're actually getting into the final coloring process. I originally did this in black and white. This was definitely out of my comfort zone because I have only done black and grayscale paintings like twice before this, maybe. So it was definitely a challenge, and especially because this was a new style to me. So this was pretty challenging, and that's why I have some of the Valorant character design references on the side there, just so I can kind of have something to look back to as I'm working on her official design. So her primary ability, her E ability, is a flower bud trip. And so it's pretty similar to Chambers. However, instead of marking them with slow, it marks them with a trail. And so you can kind of see it on the map. Her C ability is an archway of flowers that gives allies a combat stim when they walk through it. And her Q is an orb that slows and injures enemies. It's pretty slow, but it was kind of inspired by Viper's mollies. So I wanted it to be something that was a little more offensive for her. And her ultimate ability takes 8 orbs and it restores health to all living allies to 100 HP, no shields. Those are the original concepts I came up with for her utilities. Obviously, they might change in the future, but that's kind of what I came up with off the bat, and I'm honestly really happy. I feel like it matches her really well. So now as I'm coloring in her clothes, I'm giving her clothing a very silky sort of texture, because as I was doing research, I found that modern Egyptian women and the fashion for modern Egyptian women has a lot of like bold silk colors, like not too much designs, not too much jewelry necessarily, but very bold colors on very silky fabric. So that's kind of what I wanted to portray, but I felt like it was a little too bland. Originally I was gonna put some lace, but I decided against that because I felt like that was a little too Western necessarily, because as I was looking up different Egyptian clothing, I didn't really come across much lace. So you'll see here in a minute, instead of lace, I actually gave her some almost iridescent lotus flower designs on her clothing. Somewhat similar to Chamber's vest, how there's sort of that iridescent shape to it. That's kind of what I was going for with her. So there's actually 4 of these the front long fabric piece, because I wanted to give her a very flowery appearance as she's moving. So as she's running, all 4 of them would twist and create a nice flower design from like a bird's eye angle. And here I gave her the bulldog gun because I feel like that kind of resonates with her personality. She's very, you know, like pretty stubborn. She's kind of the Rock, you know, like the person you can always depend on. And I felt like the bulldog, you know, it kind of matched that sort of personality. And I was just painting on top of it because I don't have much experience drawing guns. So I was just painting over it to match the rest of the drawing. So here's the completed piece. I'm really happy with how she turned out. This was definitely a challenge, but I think I did pretty well. I think it matches the Valorant style pretty well, and I'm so happy overall. But I did have some critiques that I wanted to share with you guys. Starting off, the anatomy of the left ankle is definitely off. I definitely made it way too skinny. Secondly, I think a more pointed boot would have kind of better matched her vibe, you know, just the character design. Thirdly, I think the left pedal isn't really properly positioned, so it's a little bit hard to like see that it's a piece of fabric like the one in the front. Fourth, I think some of the colors of the gun kind of blend too well with the background. I think I should have made a better distinction just a little bit so it's a little easier to read. I also didn't really like the ammo belt. I felt like it was a little too desaturated, making it kind of stick out in not a good way. So I think just recoloring it, maybe making it a little less noticeable, can go a long way. And lastly, I think that on her hijab, I should have made it a little more flowy towards the base of the neck. I feel like it was a little too bunched up, and it just kind of made her look like she just had a really long neck. I don't know, it felt a little unnatural, so I think doing that can kind of help with the flow and make it look a little more complete overall. But yeah, that's the completed piece. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys liked this video, kind of diving in more of the process. Before we end though, I do have a couple of things. First off, go give Booch, hopefully I'm saying that right, some love. They made the playlist playing in the background. It's an absolutely outstanding mix. I've been listening to it 24/7, and I thought it would be awesome for the background of this video. So definitely go give them some love, go subscribe to them, and check out some of their other mixes too, because they are all outstanding. And I wanted to let you guys know that this Lotus design is actually available on my art store. The link is in the description. I have a bunch of cool stuff, and your support would mean the world to me. You know, I have prints, charms, stickers, and soon to be more, so definitely check that out if you can. And also follow my Twitch. I streamed almost this entire process live, so you know, if you'd like, you can come hang out as I'm drawing and designing, and you know, we can design stuff together. It'd be really fun. Thank you guys again for all your support and watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe, you know, if you liked it, it would mean a lot to me. And yeah, more exciting videos in the future, so look forward to those, and I'll see you guys next time.